Easy this morning. How is everybody? I'm gonna hop on over to YouTube real quick. Give me 1 second. Make sure that we are on subscribers only. Good morning. I'm doing much better. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I feel like the first day I started feeling better was Sunday. Like I woke up and I just felt better. It's like, okay, I think it's past. I think I'm good now. So Sunday is when I started feeling good. All right, I think we're all set. We should be good now. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm going to pull up our notes and then we will get started. I don't think we have a whole lot to cover this week. I mean, last week was just kind of just a low-key week, which is good. I think it's a good thing when it's like low-key. Oh, wordy notes. Oh boy. Oh. All right. I might be reading it word for word. Good morning. All right, so we're gonna get started on our notes. For those of you who are new to the coffee chat, what this is basically a chat about Niknax, which is my marketplace on District. It is a buying and selling platform. Oh, hello! Thank you for the raid, everybody. Welcome. It is a buying and selling platform. Very fast growing. Niknax.net. We just celebrated 1 year and we have over 32,000 members and about almost 4,000 sellers. So very exciting. But let's get started with our notes for the day. Here we go. All right, so we are at 32,692 sellers. That's 351. I'm sorry. Members. Did I say sellers? I meant members. 32,692 members. That is 351 new members since last week. So a little bit slower last week. I feel like there was quite a few factors that played into that. You know, it's like right after Thanksgiving. Also, I was pretty sick, so I wasn't really casting to YouTube, and so there wasn't really that marketing aspect to it. I know Christina was down for the count as well. I feel like there was quite a few things that played into that, but you know, it's a new week. It's a new week. Oh, you made your first magic comment sale. That's fantastic. That is awesome. So there you go. Magic comments, they do work. So be posting your magic comments over on Instagram, Facebook, all of the places. And if you need tips for magic comments, I believe Mary has them posted somewhere. She told us last week. And I forgot where. I think maybe in FAQ. They might be posted in FAQ. But Mary has like a guide to posting magic comments. So you can learn how to do that. And then people can just claim them directly from your Facebook or Instagram. It is magic. It's very magic. So we are at 3,890 sellers, which is wonderful. That's 34 new sellers since last week. So between last week and this week, we've added about 170 sellers. So that's a lot of sellers. But I've just been keeping an eye on our numbers, and I felt pretty confident ushering in some new sellers. So welcome to all of our new sellers here on Niknax. Please remember to review our guidelines. It's very important that you review our guidelines. We pride ourselves in being different than other platforms. other live selling platforms, other buy it now platforms. Like we pride ourselves on being very different, very community oriented, and we have much different guidelines. So make sure you review our guidelines before you start posting. In your approval email, you also have kind of like an abbreviated version of our guidelines, as you know, that include that we're family friendly, some of the things you're not supposed to be posting, some of the things you're not supposed to be selling. So review the guidelines before you you get started, because otherwise I'll have to message you and be like, hey, just wanted to let you know that we don't do that here. So just so you know, but welcome to Niknax. We're really, really happy to have you here. So we have over 87,000 listings. We've gone down a little bit, but that always fluctuates. You know, people going on vacation for the holidays, things selling. It's always going up and down, but we're at about 87,200 listings. So I always invite everyone to, you know, browsing the buy it now listings, because that's a lot of things to, you know, explore. You can always, you know, search the listings for just about anything. I mean, I've showed you guys. I've showed you guys before. One of my favorite searches is studio pottery figurines, and I find some really amazing weirdos in there. In the buy it now. I mean, I have a hippo. You guys have seen my hippo, right? Check this out. I bought this on Niknax, straight out of the buy it now. It's my shop hippo. So you can find really cool things like this on Niknax. I know, he's awesome, right? Really super cool. Yep. So there you go. There's one reason to be shopping the buy it nows on Niknax. You snooze, you lose. You make hippo pots. Amazing. So there you go. So 87,200 plus listings for you to browse and check out. Over on Mainly Made, we have 2,107 members. That is 23 new members since last week. Very cool. Mainly Made continues to grow every week. Very fantastic. We have 404 sellers. That's a few new sellers since last week. And 2,700 listings. So make sure you're popping over to Mainly Made, checking out some of the amazing items that our artists have to offer. You know, every fourth Friday, we do have the handmade market here on Niknax, where we feature our artists, but Mainly Made is like the marketplace for all handmade. You know, that's very important to us to have a marketplace that is all handmade. So go and check out Mainly Made. To find it, you find district.net/Mainly Made. And that is how you can find it. And every Thursday, there is like an art hangout. So a lot of our artists get together and they do demonstrations and, you know, just hang out and do art, which I think is wonderful. All right. Thank you, Mary, for posting the link. Let's talk about notes and things we have going on. Welcome to all of our new members, first and foremost. Absolutely. This is a really good question. We'd love to hear how you have heard about Niknax. I think that's one thing we've never asked really before. But how did you hear about Niknax? I think that's a really cool question to ask. How have you heard about us? We'd love to hear through videos. Oh, fantastic! Oh, from Crazy Lamp Lady videos. Awesome. From watching me. Oh, wonderful. Well, welcome everybody. It's so good to have you here. Oh man. I'm waiting for somebody to be like, oh, I just stumbled across you on Google. Oh shoot, you guys are great. You're great. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad that I could bring this all together. All right. Yes, I do. I feel much better. Thank you. Unfortunately, Andrew's come down a bit with it, and Juliet, this is her second day home from school because she's not up to it. She's not feeling too hot. So I've shared it with my family, because that's what you do. You share things during the holidays, right? Probably not the thing I should be sharing though. All right. So obviously, please take time to explore the marketplace. As I've explained, we do have the buy it now listings. I will demonstrate that real quickly to you guys. Let me pull up Niknax. And I'll show you real quick how you can do that. Really easy peasy. Here we go. Don't mind my tape up there. That's how I hold it together. I'm just holding it together with some packing tape all the time, figuratively and actually. All right, let's go here. So you can go to all listings on Niknax, and this is where you will find all of our amazing listings. So right now, if you go to all listings, you will see upcoming auctions, multi-day, scheduled, and buy it now. But you can sort up here. So if you just want to see our buy it now listings, you can click here and you will see all of the buy it now listings that are available. Lots of really cool. Look, there's some really neat. Oh, look, amber. Oh, that's pretty nice. I like those amber. Oh, you guys can't see them. Amber dragonfly earrings. Those are pretty cool. Neil the Frog. Those are pretty. Celluloid combs. Oh, pickle. Oh, Connie, your pickle ornament. I love that thing. It's so cute. Every day I'm like more and more tempted to buy one of your pickle ornaments. I'm not gonna lie. By the way, thank you for the rock for Laurel. It's adorable. Absolutely adorable. Yeah, so there's really cool stuff here, and you can also search if you want to use the search bar. Like I said, studio pottery figurine is one of my favorite searches to do, because then you get weirdos like this. $14, W.L. Smith pottery owl. I might have to make that mine. We've got hedgehogs over here. Look at this weird bird. Like this is one of my favorite searches, obviously, because I get all giddy about it. So there you go. So I invite you to search through some of our listings. You don't want to use the search bar at the top. It'll take you all over district. For now, you just use that little sidebar, and you can stay on Niknax. You can support our sellers, our artists, our marketplace. So that's where it's at. So let me get back to our notes. Canada. Thank you, everyone, for continuing to support our Canadian sellers. And thank you, Canada, for bearing with us as we kind of like work through how to circumvent and kind of figure out this whole strike and what's going on with the Canadian Postal Service. As I mentioned last week, I know you're trying so hard, and we're trying as well. Just so everyone is aware, the Canadian Postal Service is on strike. So if you're listing items, you may notice that you are not able to select postal carriers to Canada. However, our Canadian sellers are still able to ship to us in the US. And they have over-the-border carriers. They're able to use other means to get items to us from Canada. So I would encourage you to support our Canadian sellers during this time, especially during the holidays. I know they appreciate it. They're still having live sales. They're still listing items in the buy it now. So absolutely be supporting our Canadian sellers as best you can. I did receive a message from Claudine yesterday about possibly looking into offering alternatives besides Canadian Post. And I did pass that along to district, and I will bring it up in my meeting again later today and see if there's anything that can be done about that. So just keep that in mind, everybody. If you see one of our sellers from Canada going live that is able to offer shipping, just consider maybe browsing the buy it now, supporting them in any way you can. And hopefully this can get resolved soon. That being said, let's talk about our shipping deadlines. Yes, yeah, absolutely. And thank you for reaching out to me, Claudine. I do appreciate you doing that and putting that on my mind. Let's talk about our shipping deadlines for Christmas. Okay, so December 18th is the deadline for first class mail. For Christmas arrival. December 18th is the deadline for USPS ground. These are the deadlines. So I would like even plan a little bit sooner than that, because you know how during the holidays things get backed up and they can still arrive late. So, keep these as kind of like loose guidelines, but try to get things out sooner. Try to make your purchases sooner. Also keep in mind that some of our sellers do have they have 3 business days to ship their items. So that does not include weekends. So if you purchase something, on a Thursday, that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Technically it could go out on a Tuesday. Saturday doesn't count as a business day. We do encourage our sellers to get it out as soon as possible. There is a 3 business day leeway, but it is always, it is always better for our sellers to get it out as soon as possible. I know our buyers appreciate that. But keep that in mind as you're making purchases on the marketplace. Priority mail is December 19th, and Priority Express is December 21st. So those are your deadlines. But as always, remember, this is the USPS deadline chart. So this is by USPS, but not necessarily Niknax. So keep in mind there's, processing time for our sellers. Weather, absolutely. Rural areas, it might take a little bit longer. All those things can take effect. So if you are a buyer and you know that you live out in the middle of nowhere and mail only gets delivered once a week, take that into consideration. Thank you, Bandit, for your purchase. Oh yeah, in the buy it now, remember every coffee chat, I try to always include items from around the marketplace from our sellers. So if you're browsing through the buy it now, you can check it out. I've incorporated some items from around the marketplace. So not necessarily mine, except for the coffee. Thank you, Janet. But yes, you can do some browsing in the buy it now and see what I've picked. Because I'm like scrolling through, I'm like, ooh, that's cool. I like that. That's neat. Someone bought a hippo. That's awesome. I love that. Oh, absolutely. Of course. Okay, so let's make sure everyone's updated their district app. Actually, when I was signing on today, it was like update, and I was like, okay, let's do this quick. You gotta update. So make sure you are updated. I know I was watching Christina and Stacy the other day, and I was having a hard time in their co-host making Christina big. It wasn't letting me make Christina large. You know how you can usually switch between the two. I wasn't able to make Christina big because I hadn't updated the app. So make sure you are updating your app. Usually mine auto updates, so I don't even think about it. But sure enough, I went out and I had to update. So I'm just expecting it to auto update, and sometimes it doesn't do that. So make sure that you are going out and you are checking for auto updates. I don't know about the Android. I don't know if there's any Android updates. You will have to check on that because I do not have an Android. Coffee. Thank you. Thank you for your coffee purchases. So yes, make sure you're on version 2.72.2 if you are on the Apple. How do you send to join live selling on Android? If you are, I think if you're already a seller, like a live seller on Apple, like I think it's like this. I don't know. I think it's like the same kind of interface for Android, but I don't know. I've never been live on an Android. So that might be a question. I think Mary might know because I think she's done both. So you can actually ask that in the FAQ for Mary. Let's talk about host notes. Those are new. Here, look, I have host notes right here on my screen. I can say edit. I can say check out the buy it now. Save. Boom. All right. So now if you click on my host notes, you can make them big and you can see that I've told you to check out my buy it now. How amazing is that? This is an awesome feature. It's actually a super cool feature because there's so many ways that you can use this as a live seller. You can actually put in your gifting policy. Obviously, we have a blanket policy that there is no gifting, but you can reiterate that in your host notes. Sorry, no gifting. You can do your no returns. You can put that in your host notes. You can put your policies, all your policies. I'm going to ship within this many business days. You can put your coupon code. You can, if say for some reason, your shipping is going to be a little bit delayed, like, oh, I'm going to be away. You can add links to your social. You can use it for so many different things. Another thing, if you're involved in a train, like a seller sponsored train, if there's guidelines for the train, you can put the guidelines for the train in your host notes. So you guys can be creative with how to use the host notes. And you can, keep it as notes on your phone and copy and paste into all of the live sales that you have. Currently, you can only add the host notes when you're live. So you can't add them prior to going live. I did reach out to District about this, and they plan on adding it. So when you schedule your show, you can add your host notes. That is coming. But at this time, at this moment, you can only do it when you're live. So that's why I had to wait till I went live to add my host notes. Check. Yeah. You can copy and paste. So you can keep it like on a just like a notes in your iPhone. That's what I do normally, and then copy, and then when you're live, I guess that doesn't make sense because then you have to shrink it down or whatever. But when we do have the option to then add it before you go live, that would be ideal. So think of how you can be using that. If there's a special item you want to, showcase, like, hey, check out, this in my buy it now. And, it could be a really cool tool for you to use. And you can always point people to your host notes as well. Be like, hey, when you pop on, like, hey, welcome to my show. Make sure you check my host notes for all of my policies, my store policies. But when you're putting your policies in place, please remember the marketplace guidelines are still in effect. So those always are first and foremost. So there you have it. Yes, you can do it while you're in the screen. Before you officially start. There you go. I didn't know that. So you can do it before you officially click the start button. But when you go into that, like that in between space, so you have to like be almost there. Okay, cool. Well, let's test the connection. That's really good to know. Okay, perfect. All right, awesome. So that is your host notes. That is a new update. That is really quite cool. Camera preview mode. Oh, I like that. I didn't know that was a thing. I kind of like that. Although that would freak me out because I'd be worried that I was like actually live. Unless it said in really big letters like preview. I'll write that down though. Is there a way for Buy It Now sellers to have a notes page? I'm gonna write that down. Like on their listing, like have like photos, and then the last photo could be like a notes. Is that what you mean? I mean, technically you guys could do that. You could have, like as your last photo, you can have like a photo that you always put as your last photo. That's like seller notes. And then you could use that as the last photo. Do you know what I'm saying? But having a sale, I'm not sure what you mean. Whiteboard with info on it. Okay, hang on. I forgot to start right. Preview. Camera preview. Okay. Mine, it keeps freezing. I hope it's not freezing. I wrote it down. Yeah, sometimes I get ahead of myself. All right, let me come back to the questions. Let me get through my notes real quick, and just remember what you have as questions, and I will have time at the end. Oh, there you go. Christina has examples. Look, I got you. I figured it out. So we've set out the below jewelry best practices guide, sellers when selling jewelry. I'm reading through this. I'm not sure what that means though. I read it, but I don't know what that means. So basically just, just disclosing stuff, making sure that, you well, I'm reading it, but the best, okay. We've set out the below jewelry best practices to guide sellers when selling jewelry. The best practices promote disclosure and transparency to ensure buyers understand what they are buying and to provide a great experience for buyers and sellers. So basically be transparent in your host notes about your jewelry. Okay. Ta-da! All right. Yes, also conductors, like I said, if you're running a train, make sure that you are including instructions for your participants in the host notes. Maybe ask that whoever is participating in the train include the instructions in their host notes. So then everybody in the train is kind of on the same page and they're reading the host notes and they know like, okay, here is what is expected. And so if they forget, they're like, oh, this person's live. I'll go look in their host notes and then I know what's going on. Also the theme. A lot of people are like, what is the theme of this train? Sometimes it's not, I'm writing down stickers right now. Sometimes it's not immediately obvious what the theme of a train is, but if you put it in your host notes, like this is the theme of the train. Don't say gold and silver if it's really gold tone or silver tone. That's very important. I have seen that happen. Especially with the jewelry drops, that seems to like, as I'm sure we're going to figure it out. I know we had like our first jewelry drop and there was like a lot of confusion around like how that works. I thought it was a really neat idea, but I felt like there was a lot of confusion and it was our first one. And I feel like we're kind of like just figuring it out. I thought it was a cool concept. But as we kind of like, fine tune how we embark on these jewelry drops, maybe including like, here is the expectation of what the jewelry drop is going to involve, and having that in the host notes. So this is what we're going to do. And like just outlining it so everybody's on the same page, so the buyers are on the same page, the sellers are on the same page. Everybody knows this is what is happening. Yes, the Groovy Train is doing a jewelry drop today. So as long as everybody's on the same page, the buyers know what to expect, the sellers know what to expect, and everybody is... Yes, it was a great train. Absolutely. Yes, it was a great train. And it was really cool. I was like, what is this? I'd never heard of it before. And I was like, this is neat. But yeah, I mean, and it was so new to everybody that I feel like everybody was like, what? Like, same as me, like, what is this? And I was cool. And I loved the concept. And I think like we just need everybody to be on the same page. And I think that was the confusion of it. But I'm interested to see how it evolves and how where people take it. So I thought it was neat. All right, kudos and reminders. Thank you to all who pop into first time seller shows. As I mentioned earlier, I have added over 130 sellers last week, and then another about 35 this week. So that being said, you may see a lot of new sellers popping up as live sales. So please remember to pop in, show support, encouragement, look through the buy it now, that sort of thing. I know a lot of people will appreciate it. Christina specifically says, Dano, I don't know if you're out there, but popping in to congratulate I'm not sure what the I guess Dano popping in to one of the live sales. Absolutely. Dano is definitely a cheerleader. I love seeing Dano pop in and cheerleading and showing support. I feel like he's kind of like a staple to the community, and I don't know. I see him around, and it makes me smile. Also, Trending Queen gets props this week. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yes, and Trending Queen. Yeah, Christina says I'm Trending Queen. Absolutely. So props. Thank you very much for being around, making sure that yeah, being around, making sure that our new sellers are feeling welcome. I think that's very important. And also I know there's others in the community that are constantly making sure that not only just our new sellers, but even, our more experienced sellers. I think that's important as well. If you see a sale out there, I say this all the time. If you see a sale out there, and you just see a few people in, I know that, people are popping in and out, but it means so much to pop in and not just like go in and then come back out, but go in and like say something, and say, hey, like, oh, that's really cool. Oh, I love this, throw some compliment, engage in conversation. That's one thing I've noticed recently is I feel like there seems to be less conversation. And I don't know if that's just a sign of the marketplace growing, that we're having less and less conversations. But I'd love to see the conversation continue. Like, hey, how's everyone doing today? How was your weekend? What are you having? Christina loves to talk about food. Hey, what are you having for dinner? Like, you can always rely on people talking about food, right? So, just like if things seem stagnant, like always, Christina and I, when we were talking about the trains and stuff, and like trying to get people to talk. One of the things we were like, we could pick up one of those old trivia games, like, and pull out some of the cards and like, prompts and stuff for people to be like, okay, let's read one of these trivia questions and see if we can get people like, if you type it in the chat and see if we can get people talking about like, okay, random stuff, so things like that. So keep that in mind. If you guys see like a lull, maybe try to get it going. Yes, trivia night. We do, yeah. Trivia night is always fun. So there's that. Another shout out to Luna Eclectic Menagerie. She shares her love of sourcing. Yeah, Christina did mention this to me. Sharing her love for sourcing on one of her shows, but how much of a roller coaster it can actually be. I want to pay tribute to all of our sellers who, are out there sourcing, the struggle that it can sometimes be, going out there, searching for secondhand treasures, at the thrift stores, the antique malls, the flea markets, the auctions. It's a lot of work. And so props to all of you who are going out and getting it done. Absolutely. Because I know it's a lot of work. So yeah, big thank you to all of our sellers who are going out and curating and doing an awesome job bringing quality items to the marketplace. And absolutely, same to Mainly Made. Our artists who aren't necessarily going out and finding the things, but crafting the things and making them. I think that is amazing. And I'm a little jealous of some of the creativity over there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I get to string these beads on this bracelet, and it's yeah. But you guys are absolutely amazing. Yeah. Reminder that we now have the refresh button. So when you were live, I think last week I said the refresh button was on the three dots. It's not. It is actually on the X. So if you are live, you know how we're always saying to go and close it out. you can actually go now to the X and you can refresh the stream. So you can click X and then you can click refresh. So you don't have to close, you don't have to do the hard close anymore. Just go to refresh. It'll refresh your stream. The only drawback to doing that is that you do lose any streaming. So if you're streaming to Facebook, if you're streaming to YouTube, you will lose the stream. So yeah, it's an awesome feature. Just keep in mind that if you are streaming, you may have to refresh, like restream it to wherever you're streaming to. And if you are streaming to like YouTube, remember you have to go back in and make sure that you have, subscribers only, or do whatever you need to do to keep out the trolls. Because we know how quickly they can just hop on in. Yes, you can stream to Instagram. You absolutely can stream to Instagram. I don't do it because I think it's gotten a lot easier, but when it was first introduced, it was kind of a pain. But I think it's easier now, and I'm just like, here, I was gonna say I could do it right now, but also people will be like, what is this? Because it would be like just throwing them right in the middle. They'll be like, what is she talking about? But yes, you absolutely can stream to Instagram. You can stream your sales to Instagram. I know a lot of our sellers have like a substantial Instagram following. In fact, when I'm approving some of our applications, some of our sellers are selling on Instagram. It's like, okay, include links to your selling platform, and people are like selling on Instagram, and it's really cool. So you can stream to Instagram. You can stream to your Instagrams. You have the magic comment feature, and you can stream to Instagram. The stream key, I forget exactly how to get it, but once you figure it out, like it's pretty straightforward. And I think, do we have a step-by-step? Yeah, Sienna had offered to maybe do like a little tutorial on it. So maybe we could set something up, like a tutorial to do the, I'll mention something to Sienna. I'm going to write it down right now. And she can maybe do like a tutorial on IG streaming for anyone who's interested. Yeah, she does random tutorials. There you go. She does random tutorials. But I'll make sure that anyone is, maybe I can announce it in coffee chat, and anyone who's interested can hop on and do that. And then maybe I can figure out how to do it and maybe post something about it, Right. Let's talk about what's coming up. We have a Fast Friday Freight. This Friday, we're doing Fast Friday Freight this Friday. The theme is going to be in glass and pottery, figurines and vessels. It's going to be kind of a broad subject. Glass, pottery, figurines, and vessels. So get your figurines and vessels made of glass and pottery ready, because it's going to be a fun time. For those of you who aren't familiar with Fast Friday Freight, it is 15-minute intervals, so it's very fast-paced. It's fun. It keeps everybody on their toes. And oh my, glass, pottery, figurines, and vessels. Oh my, I get it now. I had to read the whole thing, but I just kind of, it's done now. I killed it. Okay. Signups will be tonight. Announcements will be in the Gazette for a specific time. So look in the Gazette. Handmade Market is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 27th. In my YouTube video, I've been saying the 20th. I have to update that. So if you're watching the end of my YouTube video and you're like, oh, the 20th. Handmade Market is the 27th. I have to update that. Handmade Market is the 27th, the 4th Friday of the month. So So that is also when we will be doing Meet Your Maker. Signups will be posted this week in the train channel on Mainly Made. Okay, so it will be on the Mainly Made train channel. And yeah, I think January, we will have our next train, our next Niknax sponsored train. January, we will be doing Fenton. We will be doing Fenton in January. So if you enjoyed the last Fenton train, January is the next Fenton train. So that should be fun. So I think that's really all we had for notes today. And I have a few moments for questions. I'm just going to drink my water though. When is the next paperweight train? Maybe March. Maybe March, maybe April. Never. Andrew says never. Here's the thing about how the market works. I'll use micromosaics for an example. So micromosaics, we had like a really awesome micromosaic sale, like on the marketplace. Like micromosaics just like skyrocketed, right? And I think everybody saw that. And so suddenly everybody is selling micromosaics, which is awesome. I've always loved micromosaics, and I think it's so cool to see all these micromosaics because I am a huge fan of micromosaics. But one thing that you'll see is when everybody is offering micromosaics, it kind of drives the price down a little, unless it's like a super special micromosaic, unless it's like very unique, very special, very old, made of silver, made of gold. That rhyme. It was kind of cool. But unless it's like a very special thing, you'll see the prices be driven down. So that's one thing you'll see, especially on any marketplace. You see it a lot on, Whatnot, for instance. You saw it with Smug Glass Vases, just in the overall vintage market. You saw the prices like skyrocket. And then now they're just kind of, they're not crashing and burning, but they're kind of just like petering off a little bit. I don't think they'll ever go down to where they were when I first started collecting, but they're just kind of like, and so that, that's what happens with a market. So when it comes to paperweights, we're trying not to saturate the market. And I think that's important with anything. So, if you ever see something like perform super well in the marketplace, it's important not to suddenly like pull out all those things and just like, oh my gosh, because if everybody does that all at once, it's going to just drive the price down, So for instance, when I find it like a huge lot of something, I don't list them all at once. I don't sell them all at once. I don't like, oh my gosh, I have all these amazing things, I'm going to just list them all and sell them all at once. I stagger them because flooding the market is what drives the price down on anything. So paperweights, to answer your question, long story short, paperweights, we're probably going to push it off until, April or March, probably. Yeah, it's about, we're going to pace ourselves, pace it a little bit, build up that anticipation, the excitement, give people time to like source the really cool, like check out these paperweights. Yeah. Did you guys see these? I mean, I've been like, look at this. I know, right? I'm like, literally, I'm already starting and we're months out, I'm like, look at them. And I just like literally have them like stashed right by my photo box. But that's and spacing it out actually gives people time to source, to look, to really like find those like good pieces, So that's kind of what I'm doing. Like I'm giving myself some time to like really seek out those really special pieces. And I think everyone else has time as well. So be on the lookout to find those special pieces. pieces for the right price. You know, you're not rushed. You're not like, I have to find that amazing piece, and then you have to feel like you have to pay up for it. You know, you have time to go out and like find, you know, the treasure for $2. Yes, you did score yesterday. I saw the pictures. I don't know about that, Monica. Let me write that down. Auction picture. One thing I did bring up to them, which is like maybe kind of a silly thing that I noticed because I'm always late, is that I haven't been able to go into my sale. Like when I click on my sale, I can't go in and tell you guys, hey, I'm running behind. I'll be a few minutes late. Like I can't do that. It drives me absolutely nuts. But I've noticed I can do it now. I mentioned it last week, and now I have the ability to do it. And I'm like really excited about that. Has anyone else noticed they can do that? Does anyone else notice? You can't do it from your own profile. You have to go out into the homepage, and if you click on your show, it puts you into your own show. You can like go into your own show, and you're like in there. So now I could be like, hey guys, I'm running late. But of course you guys know that I'm usually running late. But you know, in my mind, I'm like, oh, this will give them a chance to like browse the buy it now and like chit chat a little bit about how much they love Niknax. You know, like I feel like it's giving you guys a chance, you know? Like, oh, I love Niknax. This is the coolest place to ever be. And I found a really awesome hippo this week, you know? So it gives you guys a chance to talk about stuff like that. Yes, absolutely. Claudine is right. Buy it now sellers. You can add videos to your listings. I see Claudine doing that a lot. It's very nice. I also have time blindness, but I didn't lead with that. I led with the fact that I'm giving you guys the opportunity to browse the buy it now. See, that's what I'm leading with. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does anyone have any questions or comments or complaints about anything? Zoom and landscape for demo. I don't know what that means. Oh, for the demonstration. That would be cool. I wrote that down. Yeah, I can understand that. The demo videos in portrait is hard. Yeah. Being able to zoom in as a seller. Yeah. Can district work with Rollo? Yes. We use a Rollo printer. Is that what you mean? We print all of our labels off of Rollo. I have seen those before, Linda. That's something that that's something that Andrew has actually brought up to them, I think. Andrew, didn't you talk about that? It already is. That go along with specific live sale events. So usually when we have an event, So if we have a Niknax sponsored event, like for instance, we had the tour of Italy, the homepage, I had a specific feature for like tour of Italy. So in that instance, I featured listings that were made in Italy for that event. So when people were listing Italian items that were made in Italy that I could verify, like, oh yeah, that's made in Italy. When the pictures were, on a solid background, when they weren't screenshots, when the listings included condition and measurements. When the listings followed all the guidelines, I would feature them on the homepage. Yeah, and multiple pictures. Yes. Yeah, make sure you're including multiple pictures. I think that's important. I'm not sure about that. I know I've seen a lot of complaints on Whatnot of people just printing the label to get paid. So I don't know about that. And then, and then buyers just like, hey, it's been a week and I haven't seen my item because all they did was print the label. Once label is verified. Let me write that down. Like I know, I wrote it down. Yeah, scanned by carrier. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I know. In most cases, that's not happening. But yeah, when the label is scanned, absolutely. But I see that all the time. In the Whatnot groups, is people complaining like, "Hey." But when the label is scanned, that makes sense. Or when they have their first scan. Yes, I have heard that, Junk Monkey. I have heard that. Yeah. Yeah. I know. How long does it take on Whatnot? I'll just say it. How long does it take on there? Like prior to 1,000 sales. Seven to 8. 2 to 3 business days after delivery. Okay. All right, that's interesting. Okay. Gotcha. So the fact that it's like an instant payout. Yeah, that's so weird. Yeah, it has to do with the financial institution policies. Yeah. Okay. Niknax. I wrote that down. Hey, Shelby, do we have any more of the Niknax sticker packs? I think we have a full box. Do we? Can you count them and see how many we have? Shelby says we have a whole box. Yes, you can use your own shipper if shipping from Canada. I think you have to input the tracking. Don't ever listen to my advice on shipping though. I will say that right now. Don't ever take my advice on shipping because I do not do the shipping. But Andrew's in here. And Claudine's in here. Listen to Claudine. She says custom shipping. You can add tracking through custom. There you go. Yes. So add tracking through custom. There you go. Between Claudine and Andrew, I think you're good. So you, I'm not sure what that means. All right. Well, I think I'm going to end it here. I have to get over to the Airbnb. I'm doing it. No, you don't have to reschedule. No, I'm not really worried about that. Not on Friday. No. Nope. You're good. You're good. I think I'm going to get out of here now. I have to get over to the Airbnb. But if you guys have any questions, please remember that you can utilize the chat channels on the side of your device or your screen. You do have FAQs. Mary is usually in there answering questions. And if she doesn't know the answer, she has a line to district and she can get you the answers. I'm going to have a sale later today for jewelry. Usually Tuesdays and Sundays are my jewelry days, but I was away this weekend, so I didn't get a sale in on Sunday. And then tomorrow is Shop the Shop. Thursday, I don't know yet if I'm going to have a sale. I might. And yeah, I think that's it for me. But thank you everyone for hanging out with me today. As always, if you have anything you need to say to me, even if you just need to vent, you can always reach out to me. You can always send me a message. You can always, like, hey, I don't like the way you're doing this. We can talk about it. I'm not going to snap at you. I'm not going to get mad at you. We can talk about it. I'd rather you talk to me about something than, complain about something online or whatever. So you can always come to me. We can always talk about things. And yeah, I think on that note, I'm going to sign off. And I guess I will see all of you guys maybe later today. I remind other buyers to please not. Yeah, don't complain or argue during a live sale. That's a good reminder. We'll leave. We're going to end this coffee chat with, don't complain or argue in the chat during a live sale. That's not kind. And if you guys ever need to reach out to me about anything on the marketplace, if you see something that you don't feel is right or anything like that, don't kill the vibe. Don't kill the vibe. Andrew's right. Oh, nobody's live right now? What you guys doing? Nobody's live? What? Say what? What? Since when? I don't have anybody to raid? What you guys doing? Are you sleeping? Nobody's gonna be live until 1:10? All right. Well, everybody have a fantastic day. And I guess I will see you later today, maybe. So long. See you later. This is weird for me just ending a show, but bye. See ya.